Hello everyone, a very good afternoon. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to technical session 9B. My name is Anisha and this session would be moderated by me. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation and GR Scholastic LLP, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the 10th International Conference on ICT for Sustainable Development, ICT4SD 2025, Goa, India. The 10th edition of the conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event was held yesterday in Goa, India, and the virtual event is being held through Zoom from 17th to 19th July 2025. I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive sessions throughout the day. In this session, we have 10 presentations. Each presenter will be given 10 minutes for the presentation and 2 minutes for question and answers. And on 9 minutes, I'll raise a gentle reminder. There's also another request to all the participants to please stay connected with us till the closing of the session. And if you have any update or query, then you can write it to me in the chat box. So just before we start with the session, I'd like to introduce you all to the chair of the session, Dr. Lukendra Singh Umarao. Just give me a second. Dr. Lukendra Singh Umarao is an associate professor, Department of Computer Engineering, Computer Science and Engineering, Madan Mohan Malvani University of Technology, Gorakhpur, India. With over 11 years of teaching experience, his specialization lies in algorithms and high-performance computing. His research interests include blockchain technology, Internet of Things, big data analysis, and parallel computing, contributing significantly to advancements in these domains. Welcome to the session, sir. Would you like to give an opening remarks to all the participants?
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, moving ahead with the session, we have our very first presenter. Firstly, we have Siri Kethinidhi with the paper title Addressing Consumer Resistance to Sustainable Marketing, a Policy and Business Framework Using ISM and Integrated Theoretical Insights. Do we have Siri here in the session? Or any of the...
Madam,
Yes.
I am ready to present because if permit, I will present, madam. My paper ID is 471. Shall I share my...
Sir, we have to follow the sequence as per the schedule, so we will call
Fine,
out
madam.
your
Actually,
name when it's...
Actually, after 4:40, my train will move, madam, actually. So then signal problem will come. So if possible, before 4:40, it will be great helpful, madam.
So if the session chair allows, then only we can...
Yeah, thank you, madam.
Sir, can we take him first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Thank you,
So
sir.
I'll
Thank you
just
very
give
much.
that. Yeah. So the next presenter is M. Suresh with the paper title Trends in Teaching Entrepreneurship Research, a Bibliometric Exploration. Sir, you may please go ahead with your presentation.
Yeah, yes, madam.
Yeah.
Madam, my screen is visible, madam.
No.
No.
You're not sharing anything right now.
Madam, now my screen is visible, madam.
Yes, the screen is visible. Just put the PPT in slideshow mode and then you can go ahead.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yes, it's visible. Yeah.
Yes, madam. Yes. Yeah, yes. So, good evening, professors and research scholars and guest members and students. I am Dr. Suresh. My scholar Alka and my scholar Aswati Srinivasan. So, Dr. Aswati Srinivasan, she completed her PhD. Miss Alka is a current PhD scholar. Myself a faculty member and supervisor for both of them. So today I'm going to teach. I'm going to present for trends in teaching entrepreneurship research bibliometric analysis. So the teaching entrepreneurship, that's the importance is, so nowadays moving for the entrepreneurship, but the proper guiding and then proper way of how to start the entrepreneurship, the interest creating to the students, and as well as the systematic procedure for entrepreneurship. So that is lagging. So now many of the research is going on and how to pitch this proper structured way to teach for entrepreneurship. To this, we are giving planning for to give for this lectures for workshops and talks. How we can improve the creating their motivations and intention to towards the entrepreneurship and identifying the potential entrepreneurs and shaping to the handholding and uh, mentoring the students to take to the further level. So these all are very important in the scenario. So here it is the research also going on here promote to in the teaching in school level, college level, in higher educations in the master's degree level and the level. So here, few authors means around 60 to 80 authors. They focused dedicatedly for in this how we can what are the dimensions and how we can pitch this entrepreneurship in the teaching field means in the teaching curricula or teaching here. So they are discussed. We are analyzing here in the different dimensions, and we are providing our opinion here. So we can simply we can classify into before COVID and after COVID. So the before COVID-19 era, the scenario is different. After COVID-19 era, the work from home options came and a little bit scenario is different. Means office space is less also. We can give the outsourcing for the work from home for the jobs and we can remote working options also possible here. So that's why this is a trend is slightly paradigm shifting happened. So here the research questions is what are the emerging themes in the research on teaching entrepreneurship and which are the future research avenues that evolved from the keywords in these publications on teaching entrepreneurship and here to understand evaluations of teaching entrepreneurship over the years to identify key themes and the competence developed through entrepreneurship education to understand and integration of technology in uh, entrepreneurship in this uh, leading research level and fill this research gap in systematic and thematic analysis of teaching entrepreneurship to provide knowledge based on future research and course development to guide educators and institutions and policymakers in enhancing the entrepreneurship education models to promote innovations and sustainability and social responsibility through effective teaching methods to help students and future entrepreneurs adapt to emerging trends and challenges in the global ecosystems. So these dimensions we analyzed here in this paper. So this is a methodology we adopted here, the Prisma method, Prisma approach for the systematic review, then followed by this bibliometric analysis we uh, took here. And Prisma is a screening, and this Prisma is for screening and criteria. Document selection stages. One is identification stage and screening stage and eligible stage, and then here. So first we identify 3 documents initially, then followed by the screening. We are 3769 documents. Then further the eligibility for the full text document is 1451, and then in this 1459 76 irrelevant papers, and then further the full text 1375 articles are we took for the bibliometric analysis. So here, yeah, this is a flow chart. So the results and discussions here, it is we are classified into the different colors in the clusters. 10 clusters we classified here. So cluster 1, so we are giving red color. Here it is innovation, trends and teaching entrepreneurship for shaping entrepreneurs for tomorrow. Create from the higher education institutions level itself. So innovative lab for the entrepreneurship lab for innovations, idea generation lab, idea thinking lab, I think lab. So those kind of idea generations we can create in this uh, higher education level itself. Then the cluster transformation in teaching entrepreneurships. So and this is a transformation. Here it is we identify the potential students and then we can take to the handhold and give this mentoring and take to the better level for in this educate them for in the entrepreneurship related systems. So learning culture in entrepreneurial education. So this is a the culture should be created for this entrepreneurship. It's one of the physical education course, like that entrepreneurship course also one of the course for in the school level, means higher secondary level, and as well as in higher education level, bachelor's and master's level. So like that culture, and then a particular pay faculty, on faculty, dedicated faculty come entrepreneur, or maybe we can call for visiting faculty for entrepreneurs to create the culture is very important. And then technology trends in teaching entrepreneurship. So what kind of technology we can use to teach these courses? So AI and VR, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, blockchain, industry 4.0, the advanced technologies we can teach to the students. And also we can use this AI, AR, augmented reality and virtual reality for the see, then they can easy to understand that simulations to get in concepts. So that is also possible. So the next is academic entrepreneurship, COVID-19 pandemic. So the COVID-19 pandemic is a paradigm shifted to this work from home option. So then as concepts in teaching entrepreneurship. So concepts, what is the basic concept, what is entrepreneurship, what is the design thinking, what is the flexibility, how we can adapt, and what's the difference between small business and entrepreneurship, and how we can start the startups, what is the difference between small business and startups, and what is the structure of the startups, how they will get loans, and all the details about the function of the startups. So these are we are classifying here. And the teaching skills record. What are the skills record for this promoters and as well as in the key stakeholders? And sustainability and teaching entrepreneurship. Any organization sustainability is very important to sustain the dynamic changes. So how they can design the organizations in the sustained manner. And entrepreneurialism. Here it is entrepreneurial behaviors, startup students and teachers. So that behavior and motivation to I want to become an entrepreneur. So that we created from each and every students, and at least we can identify students. We can separately entrepreneurship club we can create it, and we can extra class and extra workshops and seminars for those identified students only give, and we make it to this in this line of uh, motivation of entrepreneurship. So thinking in teaching entrepreneurship. So here it is thinking. So creative thinking, critical thinking, rational thinking. So competitive. Also, they will need to think for the agility is important for in the entrepreneurship. So how we can agile the entrepreneurship ready for readiness for change and according to the customer need. So how we can change our ideas according to the customer need when we need to pitch. How the all this everything the thinking, the new innovative, what next, and then how we can do. So what methodology, what way we can design. So this thinking the teaching entrepreneurship. So future research direction. So this is a very important entrepreneurial intention, effectuations and entrepreneurship. So this is a very important for students. So if right faculty should be appointed, or maybe the mentors, or maybe entrepreneurs can handhold the college students for, and the technology business incubators also promoted in this after the studies in the same in college, they can establish the TBI. So this way they can promote this teaching entrepreneurship. And field visit and success stories and failure stories of the entrepreneurships and ideas. So lessons learned from the mistakes. So we can arrange the talk from the entrepreneurs. So this is our way we can take it to further. So findings, these findings it's helpful for how we can take it to this entrepreneurship, the structured coursework and course systems in this teaching higher educations and school level. So we discussed in this paper. So technology is a very major role because continuously evolving the technologies and the new technologies updating, and that we need to continuously learn the technology, and then applications of the technology should be clear. Then only become a successful entrepreneur. So the limitation, this is one of the systematic literature review come bibliometric. So here it is limitations is only the current paper up to the last year paper 2024 papers we limited and we studied. So maybe in future it will be in the end dimensions we can go for in the analysis, not only for the literature review. go to field visit, and then based on the survey, we can extend to the qualitative approach, or we can make it based on some theory we can develop, and it will be applicable for the new entrepreneurs teaching courses. These are references. Sir, thank you, sir. Sir, questions? Professors and scholars and guest members, any questions, please?
Thank you for your presentation, Suresh.
Thank you, sir.
Dr.
my
Lukin, do we have any questions for him?
No, proceed for the next one.
Thank you,
Okay.
thank you, Chair. Thank you, Professor, for giving the opportunity to me to present here. And thank you, my sincere thanks to the organizers. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to
Thank
the
you.
next presentation, we have Sonali Bolisetti with the paper title Analyzing Enablers of Omni-Channel Retailing Success Using ISM and MIC-MAC, a research-driven approach. And do we have Sonali in this meeting? Or any of the co-authors of the paper? So since there's no response, we'll be moving on to the next one. Next up, we have Athar Shivete with the paper title Automated Temperature and Humidity Controller for Grain Storage.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Athar, you may please share your screen
Okay.
and start the presentation. Yeah.
Ma'am, is the screen visible?
Yes, it's visible. You can put it in slideshow mode.
Okay.
Yeah.
So good afternoon, everyone. I am Atharva Chivte, and I'll be starting the presentation on a project research paper titled Automated Temperature and Humidity Controller for Grain Storage. The authors of this research paper are Ketik Kshirsagar, Chinmay Kalbhor, Sudarshan Chitte, Pragati Chopde, Sanika Chavule, and myself, Atharva Chivte. This will be the general outline of the presentation. First, I will talk about the introduction, then I will tell the objectives of our project. Then I will talk about the key components we used in the making of a project. Then I will give a brief overview of the methodology, and then talk about the algorithm of the methodology. Then I will talk about the results and discussion and system performance. And finally, I will conclude with conclusion and future work. So to begin with, this project provides real-time temperature and humidity monitoring using the DHT11 sensors, and it incorporates an automated fan and spray control for enhanced environmental regulation. This automation reduces the manual intervention and the errors which may be caused by it, and ensures optimized conditions in the system. This system has wide applicability, including different settings like homes, agriculture, and server rooms. This project addresses the critical need for grain storage preservation by automatically controlling the temperature and humidity, and prevents the spoilage which may be caused by mold, insects, and decay, ensuring better grain quality and reducing the wastage. This project also focuses on exploring the integration of automation technologies. Now, for the reason of the project selection, the project was chosen due to the increasing importance of automation in today's fast-paced world. And by automating our routine tasks, we can free up valuable time for more strategic activities, thereby increasing the overall productivity as well as reducing the errors which may be caused by manual intervention. Next are the objectives. The project aims to automate Peltier module operation using real-time temperature readings and regulate humidity by activating a spray mechanism when needed. The system also monitors and logs the temperature and humidity data and then optimizes the fan and spray usage accordingly to reduce the energy consumption. The system is also integrated with the Blink app, which provides the user the capability to monitor and control the fan and spray functions remotely, providing him with convenience and flexibility. Next are the key components used in the system. The key components include a DHT11 sensor for accurate readings, the Arduino Uno microcontroller which processes the sensor data, a relay module which controls the Peltier module and water spray pump, one 16:2 LCD that displays the real-time data, and breadboard and jumper wires to build a physical circuit. Arduino Uno microcontroller was used because it's user-friendly and versatile, making it suitable for beginners and experts alike. whereas the DHT11 sensor is a reliable device for measuring temperature and humidity accurately. The Arduino IDE was the software platform used to write, test, and upload the code to Arduino boards because of its simplicity and extensive libraries, making it an ideal choice for beginners and experienced developers alike. Next is the methodology. The first step is the collection of data. First, the data on the temperature and humidity is collected using DHT11 sensors, which allows for precise measurement of environmental conditions. Next is the controlling mechanisms of the fan and spray via relays based on real-time sensor readings. This automation enables the effective management of temperature and humidity levels within the environment. And finally, the real-time data is sent to the Blink app for monitoring and control, which allows the user with the feature of a customizable interface to monitor and keep track of the data as well as control the data remotely. Next is the algorithm of methodology. The first step is to initialize the components, that is setting up of the sensors, relays, and Arduino Uno for operation. The next step is to utilize the DHT11 sensor to gather all the environmental data. And then the user can either manually control the relays through commands sent from the Blink app, or the system can automatically evaluate the collected data against the predefined thresholds to determine if the Peltier or spray relay should be activated. Next are the results and discussion. This system maintains precise environmental control for grain storage by using automated sensors and actuators. The system is also low cost and energy efficient alternative to other traditional methods because the key components utilized in this system, like the DHT11 sensor and Arduino Uno, are inexpensive and affordable, thus making it an affordable solution. This system also has remote control capabilities, offering convenience and flexibility to the user and enhancing the user experience. Finally, this project successfully maintained the grain quality within ideal ranges and extended the grain storage life. Next is the discussion on system performance. The system demonstrated effective performance under real-world conditions, adapting to various environmental factors and user interactions, which is crucial for ensuring the reliability and user satisfaction. Now, for some of the challenges we faced during the implementation phase include faulty components and sensor inaccuracy, which led to data discrepancies, and network delays, which affected the system responsiveness. To address these challenges, we implemented different calibration protocols for sensors to enhance the accuracy as well as optimize the network configuration to reduce the delays. These measures resolved the immediate issues and also improved the overall system performance. Finally, for the conclusion and future work, the project successfully automated various processes, thus significantly reducing manual intervention and errors, and seamless integration with Blink app allowed for remote monitoring and controlling of the devices, thus enhancing the user experience and accessibility, which is crucial for modern IoT applications. Through this project, we also gained some valuable insights regarding system design, sensor functionality, and user interface development. Now for the future work may include adding more sensors to gather diverse data, which can lead to a more comprehensive analytics and improve decision-making capabilities, as well as focus on improving the efficiency of the system, which may involve optimizing the algorithms and reducing energy consumption to create an even more sustainable solution. Finally, these are the references used. Thank you. So, ma'am, you can ask any questions if there are any.
Yeah, fine. Next one.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Moving forward to the next presenter, we have Fatima Maria AK with the paper title Comparative Analysis of Thresholding and GMM-based Methods for Mixed Pixel Identification in Thermal Images. Do we have a Fatima here in the meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, Fatima, you may please start with your presentation.
Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm pleased to present our research paper titled Comparative Analysis of Thresholding and GMM-based Methods for Mixed Pixel Identification in Thermal Images. This work was carried out by myself, Fatima Maria AK, along with my co-authors, Sharath S., Dr. Jyotisha J. Nair, and Dr. Sunitha E.V. from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, the School of Computing, Amritapuri campus. Our paper has been assigned the paper ID 345, and we are excited to walk you through this presentation. Introduction. In thermal imaging, mixed pixel refers to an individual pixel that records temperature from more than one surface. Rather than representing one single uniform source, it represents a blended value. As you can see in this image, there is the leaf. This will be the illustration. There is the core part of the leaf. This is the background, and the borders are having this blended values. It does not represent either core area or the border area. So this issue frequently occurs in leaf level thermal images due to the overlapping structures, heat diffusions. So to accurately detecting this mixed pixel is important, because even small segmentation errors can lead to misinterpretations in applications like precision agriculture, thermal image analysis, and also in temperature monitoring of leaf. So in this study, we compare thresholding and clustering methods and determine which method better identifies the mixed pixels in thermal images. Research objective and motivation. As I said, mixed pixels are a major problem in thermal images and thermal image analysis because they may reduce the clarity and accuracy of the segmentation results. So the most existing method either rely on the fixed threshold or symbol clustering, but they don't often adapt to the temperature variations or structural complexity, especially in the natural subjects like leaf. So our motivation was to examine how different techniques perform when identifying the mixed pixels. The main objective of this study is to evaluate the performance of thresholding and clustering based methods on the thermal leaf and evaluate which approach gives the best segmentation results. This is the methodology. This block diagram outlines the complete workflow for our mixed pixel detection in thermal images of a leaf. We begin with the thermal image acquisition, and we collected the image using the Fluke TI480 Pro camera. Alongside, we can also get the temperature data of each pixel with their software Fluke Connect. And then next is pre-processing. For pre-processing, we'll improve the image quality. We use the grayscale conversion, noise filtering, and contrast enhancement. And next is our main core segmentation. The segmentation is split into two parallel approaches. One is threshold based using gradient magnitude thresholds, and also the other one is clustering based using unsupervised learning techniques. Once the image is segmented, we quantify the proportions of mixed pixels detected by each method. And finally, all the results are visualized and compared to evaluate the performance. So we'll move on to each module one by one. Pre-processing. The pre-processing plays a crucial role to enhance the image clarity before segmentation. So first, we convert the image into an 8-bit grayscale. This helps us to bring all the intensity values to a standard format. Then we apply a 5x5 median filter. So this step will effectively removes the noise and also smoothens the small pixel variations. Next, the image has been normalized. The pixel values are in the range, will be made into a standard range of 0 to 255. So after this, all these pre-processing operations ensures that the key thermal patterns are preserved and the image is clean and ready for the segmentation. Next is our first method, gradient-based thresholding. In this step, we use gradient-based thresholding to detect where the temperature changes rapidly in the image. These areas are often where the mixed pixels mainly occurs. So to do this, we apply a Sobel filter, which calculate the horizontal and vertical gradients of each pixel. These gradients are then combined to form a gradient magnitude image. So we use two thresholds at the 80th and 85th percentile to isolate the high gradient regions. And these regions will be the most potential mixed pixel zones. Next is clustering. So I have tried two types of clustering. One is K-means and one is GMM. So unlike thresholding, clustering rely on the statistical classification or patterns, not on fixed thresholds. So this is important for thermal images where clear boundaries won't exist between the temperature zones. So our first method is K-means clustering, which group pixels into three clusters, that is hot, cool, and mixed. This method is simple and fast, but it assumes equal variance, which is not often suited for real thermal data scenario. Like in our case, it is leaf, where the temperature gradients will be non-uniform. So for that, to overcome this, I have used GMM, that is Gaussian mixture model. So I have explored more advanced model called Gaussian mixture model. Unlike K-means, which assigns pixel to a group only, GMM allows a pixel to belong to multiple groups based on their probability. This is especially useful when the temperature values are overlapped, like in the leaf image. So we tested three types of GMM. The first one is variational Bayesian GMM, which automatically figures out the best number of clusters using Bayesian techniques. No manual tuning is needed. Next one is Dirichlet's process GMM, which adjusts the number of groups based on how complex the image is, giving more flexible when mixed pixels vary across the scenes. Constrained MMM adds rules to the control scenario, and extra they help the model better separate the mixed pixels from the pure ones. We are using unsupervised learning techniques. Then for the quantification of the mixed pixel fraction, I have used the formula, and we'll find the percentage of mixed pixels detected by each method. Result and analysis. The table shows the mixed pixel detection percentage across all the segmentation methods, and we can observe that 80% of thresholding methods detect 20.77% of mixed pixel, which closely matches to the K-means clustering result of 20.82% and the constrained GMM result of 20.69%. And VBGMM and DPGMM shows a stricter deduction of 13.60% has mixed. Because this is a probabilistic model and are more conservative, and they minimize the false positive by only labeling the most ambiguous pixel as the mixed. Meanwhile, if we increase the threshold to the 85th percentile, which causes the model to detect fewer percentage of mixed pixels, that is 15.24, because the higher cutoff means the moderate, which omits the moderate transition. And we can say that overall, the clustering methods like GMM are more refined and context-sensitive segmentation. Next is conclusion. To summarize, we can say this study represents a comparative framework for identifying mixed pixels in thermal images using gradient-based thresholding and clustering-based techniques. We can say that the 80% threshold and the K-means both detect 20% of mixed pixel, while the GMM-based method, especially the VBGMM and DPGMM, have a stricter classification, identifying only 13.60%. Although we can say the thresholding is fast and easy to implement, but the clustering is have a deeper insight and more reliable separation. So the future will explore more deep learning methods and spectral imaging approaches. Thank you. Sorry, any questions?
Fine, Fatima.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the presentation. Moving forward to the next presentation, we have Pallavi S. Gaikwad with the paper title E-Voting System Using Blockchain App. Do we have Pallavi here in the session? And any of the co-authors of the paper, if they're present here? Since there's no response, we'll be moving on to the next presentation. Next up, we have Vismaya R with the paper title, Optimizing CPU Power Consumption for Sustainable Cloud Operations. Vismaya, are you present in the session?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you may please go ahead with your presentation.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vismaya R, and I'm from the fourth year of BTech in Amrita School of Vishwavidyapeetham, Bangalore. And today I'll be presenting our research on optimizing CPU power consumption for sustainable cloud operations, and our paper ID is 417. So this work was carried out at the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, as I mentioned, Amrita School of Vishwavidyapeetham, Bangalore. The challenge we address is critical as to how to drastically reduce the energy consumption of data centers, the backbone of modern digital infrastructure, while maintaining performance and reliability. The motivation for this work is clear. With a surge in global demand for cloud services, energy consumption in data centers has skyrocketed. These facilities now account for a significant portion of the world's electrical usage, raising both environmental and operational concerns. Our main objective is to implement and evaluate power optimization strategies, specifically DVFS, dynamic voltage and frequency scaling, DPM, dynamic power management, and AVS, adaptive voltage scaling, to assess how much they can reduce CPU power consumption while sustaining performance. Now, what are actually green data centers? To address these energy optimization is more crucial than ever due to the rising computation demands. It's not just saving cost, it's about sustainability for the planet as the world transitions towards greener technologies. Now, applications of power optimization. Power optimization actually impacts many areas. It's not only the data centers. It's like, for example, mobile devices in which extending battery life while maintaining responsive user experience, data centers significantly reducing both operating costs and emissions, IoT systems ensuring longer device lifespan and efficient performance computing, lowering energy usage in scientific and industrial computational tasks. Now, coming to our methodology begins with data collection. We gathered real-time CPU usage and frequency data using the Python library. We also performed historical data analysis to discover long-term patterns in CPU utilization. These data sets became the foundation for simulating and comparing different power management techniques. This dual approach allows us to evaluate the algorithms in both static and dynamic workload conditions, simulating the real operational environment of data centers. The first algorithm we implemented is DVFS, which is the dynamic voltage and frequency scaling simulation. We defined two thresholds for CPU usage based on the mean and standard deviation. If CPU usage rises above the high threshold, mean plus standard deviation, the CPU frequency is scaled up to maintain performance. If CPU usage falls below low threshold, mean minus standard deviation, frequency is scaled down to save power. We estimate power consumption as being proportional to the square of the frequency, reflecting the quadratic relationship between CPU speed and energy use. Our next technique is dynamic power management, DPM. DPM focuses on handling idle or low activity periods by putting components into low power states or reducing the CPU frequency. When CPU usage is low, we lower the frequency to about 70% of its normal value. When usage is normal or high, frequency is restored to its standard setting. Power is simulated similarly to DVFS, proportional to the frequency squared. This approach mirrors real-world scenarios where servers often spend significant time at partial loads. The third strategy, adaptive voltage scaling, AVS, extends the power savings further. Here, both voltage and frequency are adjusted together according to the workload. During periods of high activity, both voltage and frequency are increased for performance. During low activity, both are scaled down, taking advantage of the fact that power depends quadratically on voltage. The formula we use for power is P is equal to CV squared into F, where C is a constant, V is voltage, and F is frequency. This coordinated adjustment brings energy savings beyond what the conception is estimated using real-time CPU usage and mathematical relationships relating frequency, voltage, and power. We compare each algorithm under identical workload conditions and simulation using key metrics, which are average power consumed, energy savings achieved, and impact on CPU performance. These results are visualized using plots to highlight the efficiency of each method. Now to the results. Without DVFS, DPM, or AVS, running all CPUs at maximum frequencies led to persistently high and inefficient power consumption. With DVFS, power was reduced to 25 to 30% by dynamically lowering frequency during lighter workloads. With DPM, savings improved to 28 to 35% gains, that is 35 to 40% reduction, were achieved by adjusting both voltage and frequency in response to real-time demands. These findings were validated across both historical and real-time data samples. As shown in the bar, the difference in power consumption between the baseline and the optimized cases is clearly visible. AVS consistently achieves the lowest power usage across varied workloads. These visualizations validate the practical efficacy of our approach for real-world, software-defined cloud environments. In commercial CPUs such as Intel, etc. Products like Microsoft Azure Service Fabric and Google Kubernetes use similar dynamic power management.
Do we have any questions?
Hello, ma'am.
No, proceed.
Okay, sir. Thank you for the presentation. Moving on to the next presentation, we have Ajay Menon with the paper title Thematic Analysis to Assess Business Continuity Intentions Among Women-Led Micro Enterprises in Kerala. Sir Ajay, you may please begin with your presentation.
Good morning, everyone. We are excited to present our research titled Thematic Analysis to Assess the Business Continuity Intention Among Women-Led Enterprises in Kerala. The members include myself, Anjali Shivan, Asta Santosh, Abhyas, and Dr. Sandhya Ji. Moving on to the introduction. Kerala rural MSMEs, particularly in the agri, dairy, and fish processing sectors, are more than just economic units. They are agents of livelihood development and also community well-being. However, in the past 3 years, according to the recent Kerala state budget, nearly 43% of these enterprises have been shut down, primarily due to financial hurdles. This alarming discontinuation raises a critical question: what keeps business going while others shut down? That's where our research steps in. We aim to understand the behavioral and psychological factors influencing business continuity intentions using the theory of planned behavior, which is a well-known framework in behavioral science and consumer behavior. So the originality of our study is mainly focused upon bridging the theory and practice in continuity intentions of women entrepreneurs. And this theory of planned behavior have often been used to analyze consumer decisions, like why people buy organic food or adopt new tech. But studies have applied it to understand how our studies have applied how small-scale women entrepreneurs decide whether to continue or shut down their businesses, especially in Kerala's rural landscape. Our study zooms in on agro, dairy, and fish processing units. These industries contribute heavily to the local employment and food security, but are rarely studied through the lens of behavioral theory. What sets us apart is also a qualitative approach. Unlike the TPP studies that rely mainly on surveys and statistics, we used in-depth interviews and thematic analysis, both inductively as well as deductively. This allowed us to capture the rich emotional and often untold stories behind the business decisions. So now we move on to the novelty of our study. So the most studies focus on MSMEs. They are mainly focusing upon the external factors like market conditions, government subsidies, or infrastructure. But we flip the lens inwards. Our study mainly focuses upon the internal behavioral dynamics that influence whether an entrepreneur decides to persist or exit. This includes how they perceive challenges, the role of motivation, as well as decision making under pressure. Secondly, we've extended the theory of planned behavior to a domain that's rarely used in rural MSME continuity. Usually, TPP is found in the consumer or urban entrepreneurship studies, but here it helps us to decode the behavioral patterns in small village-based enterprises. Our thematic analysis also uncover unique workflow dynamics. We observe that team interactions, how women collaborate, support, and motivate each other play a critical role in our decision making. Now we move on to the literature review part. So the framework that I mainly used is a theory of planned behavior as proposed by Arjun. This TPP helps us to understand the intention behind a person's behavior based on mainly three key elements. First would be the attitude, next would be subjective norms, and other would be the perceived behavioral control. Previous studies, especially by Kruger and Kotunan, have applied TPP to entrepreneurial sustainability. And Sandhya and Mahavitra have used thematic analysis to explore consumer intentions, setting a useful precedent for our method. What's novel here is the application of TPP to specific rural women-led MSMEs, especially in the Kerala's agro-fish and dairy processing unit, a domain that hasn't seen much behavioral research. Next, we'll move on to other basic control aspects, mainly focusing upon the literature review. Here, which are the attitudes, which is the positive as well as the negative attitudes. So, Kasturvati et al. Found that MSMEs are financially independent as they are more committed to staying operational. Ramskin and Notch highlighted that the community engagement is a powerful motivator. It directly contributes to the business survival in a community-based models like those which are common in Kerala. On the other hand, if you take the negative attitude, financial constraints, as noted by Cantel and Cassia, has led to shutdowns when resources dry up. Institutional disengagement, according to Generali, adds to the burden to red tape, slow process, and a lack of proactive support from the government and also various policy bodies. Ultimately, we observe that attitude, whether grounded in purpose or hindered by bureaucracy, plays a crucial role in continuity intentions, especially rural MSMEs that rely heavily on community ties. Now we move on to the other control element, which is the subjective norms. The subjective norms refer to the social pressures entrepreneurs feel from family, community, or institutions regarding whether they should continue or exit the business. Madinter et al. Showed that family support significantly boosts entrepreneurial persistence, especially for businesses embedded in community and also which are in our lines of study. And Zhang et al. Also pointed out how government regulations and industry standards shape compliance behavior, which directly influences whether business can scale or evolve. On the right, we can see the social cues that translate to the intentions, whether entrepreneurs are trying to continue, expand, or exit. Here, financial support is directly correlating with expansion plans, as well as Bilan et al. Showed that technological upgrades like better tool or digital platform predict long-term business growth. Harrison et al. Also highlighted the role of proactive financial management, as well as the perceived market potential and how entrepreneurs' beliefs and futures are demand-based influence, whether they stay in the business or not. These are the various control elements for the predictive elements that we have chosen for our study. Now we move on to the methodology part. So we have adopted a qualitative research design with an exploratory approach. As our goal was not to measure, but to understand the deep experience of and behavioral patterns of women-led micro enterprises. Our population included 33 MSME units across agro, dairy, and fish processing sectors. From this, we selected a sample of 6 units using purposive sampling. For data collection, we conducted the in-depth interviews. This allowed us to dig deeper into the motivations, barriers, and the coping strategies of each entrepreneur. The interviews covered a wide range of topics from why they started their business to how they manage the operations, manage finances, and also draw support from the community. The key methodology that we have used is the thematic analysis, a framework that is well established for identifying, analyzing, and interpreting patterns within the qualitative data. This approach was ideal because it helped us to uncover the underlying motivations and behavioral dynamics that influence business continuity decisions among entrepreneurs in Kerala. So the brief method of our process is that first we transcribe the interview recording into written text. Then we perform statistical coding where we broke down responses into meaningful data segment and tag similar ideas. Finally, we moved into the theme generation, grouping similar codes into broader themes that align with our research objectives. We used NVivo software to manage this process, combining both inductive as well as deductive approaches. Inductive coding allows us to emerge themes directly from the participant responses to feature fresh, unfiltered insights. Deductive coding, on the other hand, aligned with the earlier controls or theory of bad behavior mentioned above. So we also have certain limitations for our study, but the question was a small sample size. Our findings are not meant to be statistically generalizable, but rather to offer deep contextual understanding that can guide further research and policy, especially in civil environment. This is a diagrammatic approach of and the conceptual mapping of the theory of planned behavior as used in specific context. Here, attitude, subjective norms, and perceived theory controls are the three main drivers that collectively shape an entrepreneur's intention to continue an operation or not. Starting with the attitude, we found there are both positive and negative dimensions. Some positive dimensions are community support, financial independence, and there are also other challenges like lack of institutional support, workforce inconsistency, as well as workforce commitment. With regards to subjective norms, there are elements of family influences, regulatory expectations, as well as lack of institutional support. They also serve as motivators as well as obstacles. In terms of perceived behavioral controls, the control believes that included perceived barriers like financial constraints, skill gaps, and infrastructural issues, while behavioral efficiencies are powered by self-confidence, external support, and operational numbers. Finally, when we move on to the final element, which is the intention to continue, which are mainly measured through four key indicators, mainly focusing upon their business plan expansions, investment in new machinery, exploration of market opportunity, as well as strategic financial management. So this is the Braun and Clark 6-step of thematic process, where we have rigorously followed the 6 steps, mainly starting with familiarization, generation of initial codes, developing these themes by combining those codes, reviewing and refining the themes, defining and naming themes, and finally writing the results. Or based on that, we'll be presenting our findings. So this is a quantified summary of the thematic findings across the entire units that we have surveyed. First one, regarding the intention to continue. This was one of the core outcomes, and this is one of the most cited factors. Here, the plan for business expansion must be more as the highest cited, in which entrepreneurs across all units express a clear desire to scale up or diversify. Future market opportunities, which also had the second most mentioned, many were actively thinking about how to position themselves in the new market. However, financial strategies like reinvestments were less frequently mentioned, only 8 times, hinting at a gap between ambition and financial planning. With respect to attitude, there was an overwhelmingly positive attitude in the 62 mentions that is driven by community support, independence, and purpose. However, there were also instances of negative attitude appearing about 30 times. Now
This is a gentle reminder. This is a gentle reminder that 9 minutes have been completed.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So now we move to the subjective norms. In subjective norms, the main focus was related to the family influence. Family influence we reduced to about 22 mentions, which act as a powerful social support system. Next would be the perceived behavioral control. Now, the key element is the inductive themes that we developed here, right? That is mainly focusing upon the deep-rooted resilience, wherein emotional resilience, operational resilience, and financial resilience stood out. Finally, the gender leadership dynamics, there was a main emphasis upon the full female autonomy, which was recorded 8 times, and also the shared leadership with male counterparts. Notably, the male-dominated or symbolic female leadership was completely absent, showing that women are truly at the helm, either independently or collaboratively in this manner. So these are some of the key findings that we have received. First one was business expansion was a key priority. They were all planning for business expansion, and financial constraint was one of the key limiting factors that hindered their business growth, as well as there were enough opportunities for market competitions and challenges that hindered their main aspect of business continuity intentions. And also this limited institutional support that were perceived as slow and inefficient. And there was also high instances of regulatory compliances, even though there's a minor concern, but it's very relevant for the business operation. And the key aspect was the strong resilience, which is the resilience, wherein the operational resilience showed up the most, as well as the financial resilience, which showed signs of high adaptability. And the role of family and community was also playing a key factor in understanding their intention to that.
So, you have exceeded the 10-minute time limit. Kindly conclude the presentation.
Yes. So these are the key factors to conclude. The study explored the business continuity implications of women-led microenterprises in Kerala that reveal both positive and negative attitude. And the key construct that we have introduced, so team-led resilience and gender dynamics, highlight the role of collective problem solving in autonomous females or teams, supported by male counterparts in advisory roles. This insight expands the traditional debate model by incorporating the social and financial resilience as a critical factor. So I thank you, panel, for allowing me the opportunity to present our research. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation, sir. Are there any questions? Since there are no questions, we'll be moving forward with the next presenter. Next, I would like to call upon Ma'am Ganga to present her paper on the title, Understanding Intent to Use Robo-Advisory Services Among Gen Z Investors. Do we have you here with us, ma'am?
Good afternoon. So I'm Tena. I'm doing this research as a part of Amrita Vishwavidyabharam Kochi.
Ma'am, your voice is not audible properly. Could you please speak a little louder?
Hello. Now.
Ma'am, it's still not audible properly.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, it's audible now.
So I'm Dina. I'm doing this research as a part of Amrita Vishwavidyabharam Kochi. And I want to show my sincere gratitude towards ICT4SD and the organizers for giving such a great opportunity to present our paper here. So moving on to the title of our project, understanding the intent to use the robo advisory among the Gen Z investors, and our authors is Nidarshana, Varun, and myself Kenna, and our guide is Dr. Rosalie Patrick. So moving on to the introduction. As we all know, that the robo-advisor is an automated platform that providing cost-effective, algorithm-driven investment advice with a minimum human involvement. And now we all know that robo-advisor is considered one of the key breakthroughs in these fields, providing more advanced and automatic investment advices. Very crucial. They can provide more crucial financial advices and solutions for portfolio management. And such platforms are utilized data-driven algorithms for a profile assessment of investors and information, which will be obtained from field structured questionnaires. Our research is trying to aim the association between the attitude, preference, trust, and knowledge of the robo-advisory services and the perceived utility and ease of use, and determine shaping the Gen Z investors intent towards using these services. So what's the novelty of the study is that for the we can see the trend and for the past few years, there has been a massive increase in the new traders and investors, particularly after the pandemic COVID era. People started to invest more investing, and more young investors are coming to this era, coming to this area. So I think if such a robo advisor can greatly help these young investors that don't have any technical and fundamental, they have a lack of these knowledge. People can having this lack of knowledge, robo advisor can definitely help them. So that is the relevance of our study. So these were the literature reviews that we referred, and these are the insights that we get from the literature. There are several studies that happened on this topic, and most of them are showing the trust and satisfaction and convenience of using these robo advisors. I mean, in India, it is not that much popular, the robo advisory, but in foreign areas, foreign places, it is more relevant and more popular. And the main research objective of the research is to target the Gen Z investors who represent the primary target audience for robo advisors. And the research question for our studies are: what impact do investors' preference, trust, attitude, familiarity, and perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use have on Gen Z investors intend to use robo advisory services? And these were the variables that we took for our studies, the X variables and the Y variables. And this is the TAM model we have done for our study. and hypothesis. And moving on to the methodology, and we have done a quantitative method, and the research design is in a descriptive way, and we done primary data collection in a structured questionnaire manner. We collected the questionnaire through that. And our limitation is also that our sample size is very much less. And the population, we have the targeted population is Gen Z investors. And the sample technique that we have used is random. And the type of study is professional, collecting from a group of people, of Gen Z investors as a single point in time. So the data analysis tool that we used is SPS. So after the data collection, we have getting inferences from the investment behavior of our sample size is they have a 85% of them have a investment experience of more than 1 to 2 years. And investment instruments that mostly used is share, commodities, and all. And they how frequently do they make investment decisions are like regularly. 48% are regularly doing the investment decisions. So these are the people that we took for the sample size. So moving on to the analysis part, when coming to the descriptive analysis, the perceived ease of use and usefulness have the highest main scores, indicating the users find robo-advisors user-friendly and beneficial, and familiarity scores and lower, suggesting a need for more exposure or training. Trust shows a very fairly high mean, but with a notable variability that is reflecting the mixed confidence level of the people over to robo-advisors. Overall, the usability, perceived benefits, and trust are the key to influencing the adoption. So moving on to the correlation metric, and we have found out that the trust and attitude have a positive correlation towards intent to use. The results reveal a strong positive correlation between intent to use and both attitude and trust, indicating these are the key drivers of the adoption. In contrast, perceived ease of use and usefulness show a weak correlation, suggesting limited influence. Attitude and trust are the strongest predictors of robo-advisor adoption among the Gen Z. We have done the regression in a multiple regression to examine factors influencing Gen Z and non-users intent to adopt the robo-advisors. Trust and attitude significantly predict intent to use, highlighting their key roles in adoption. Familiarity with use and perceived ease of use and perceived usefulness show no significant impact, indicating that positive perception and trust matter more than prior exposure or usability. The findings suggest that enhancing trust and shaping favorable attitude are critical for increasing the robo-advisors adoption among Gen Z. So moving on to the conclusion part. So attitude and trust are very key factors influencing Gen Z's adoption of robo-advisory services. And perceived usefulness and ease of use had a little impact on adoption intention. And trust and fintech solutions and having a positive attitude are the strongest drivers of behavioral intent. So fintech firms should prioritize, as a suggestion we can say that fintech firms should prioritize building trust through better security and transparency. And shaping positive user perceptions can also impact the user intention towards robo-advisors. And future research could explore the role of financial literacy and the risk tolerance as potential moderating factors in adoption behavior. So these are the papers that we have referred for our research. So that was nice. Any questions?
Thank you for your presentation, ma'am. Are there any questions?
No, proceed further.
Okay, sir. Since there are no questions, we will be moving forward with the next presenter. Next, I would like to call upon Sir Apollina Pidatu to present his paper titled Understanding the Factors Influencing Online Classes in General Education. Do we have you here with us, sir?
Hello, good day. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. So permission to share.
So you can start presenting your screen.
My slide.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you double check if it's available already on your screen?
No, sir, it's not available as of now.
Wait, sir. Yeah. Is it visible already, sir?
Yes, sir, it's visible now.
All right. So for a while. Okay. So again, a pleasant day to all. So I'm Professor Apolinar Pidatu from National University Philippines. So on behalf of my co-authors, I'm here to present our paper, which is entitled Understanding the Factors Influencing Online Classes in General Education. Okay, then, so here is the content of the abstract. Actually, the main purpose of the abstract is to investigate the multi-phase factors that influence the implementation, also with the delivery and reception of the online classes, especially under the general education programs. As we all know, before, when the pandemic started, there are a lot of colleges and universities here in the Philippines, or even not only in the Philippines, had experienced problems when it comes to education. So that's why we um, formulated this such topic for us to open what happened, especially under the education programs, no? So we use a mixed method research design wherein we conducted a quantitative data, and also we had the qualitative insights wherein both students and of course the fellow faculty members were the respondents on the said research. Okay. Then also, the results indicate that technological accessibility, also the digital competency, instructional quality, and then the learner motivation were already discussed in the whole paper. And then also the research highlights the disparities in students' digital readiness and access to conducive learning environments. Then, for the findings, which underscores the necessity for the higher education institutions to invest in sustainable digital infrastructures that provides continuous faculty development programs and adopt inclusive student-centered online learning strategies. Just like what we are doing right now, no? We are having an online research presentations. So that was before happened when the pandemic started. So like us in the general education department, we conducted a total online classes. Then for the introduction, shifting to online learning usually significantly transformed to the delivery of the general education courses. Like for example, having a class on a mathematic class. So it's very difficult for us to discuss mathematic computations or problems using online. And another subjects possible are the English language, the Filipino language, and more. Then also, this study seeks to explore dynamics by gathering insights from the students, educators, and of course, from the academic stakeholder side. And then we have here the findings, no, which we usually focus on the three. We're in for the educators and the faculty, then for the students, and of course for the school administrators and the policymakers that were being hit by this what we call it pandemic problem. That's why we use the online learning. And then ultimately, this study aims to contribute to the ongoing conversations about how to optimize online education, especially under the general education courses. And of course, it ensures to remain accessible, equitable, and effective for all the learners. Then we have here the results. Wherein the age bracket is ranging from 18 to 20 and then 30 and above. So these are the under the students and of course under the faculty and administrators who were our respondents. Then the gender, of course, we have the male and the female, wherein majority answered were from the male. Then for the technological devices used during the online classes, based on the results, majority of the respondents uses mobile phone rather than using a computer or any other gadgets in attending their education, general education classes. Then secondly, we have here the network availability, like the use of mobile data aside instead of using Wi-Fi, because for them, they can use mobile data anywhere, whether in school or whether inside the mall or inside a canteen, rather than using an ordinary Wi-Fi connection. Then also, we have here the terms of the attitudes. Of course, majority, the total score is agreed in using general education under online learning. Okay. And then next also is here, as you can see, again, another agreed that the results in using or conducting an online education merely is useful, no? Especially during the time of the pandemic. Okay. And then also this one is strongly agreed, wherein majority they are using the ELMS system. Actually, in our university, we use the MS Teams on how we conduct our online classes. And then some other schools, they just use the Zoom or the Teams or Google Scholar, everything that might be usable in conducting the online education. Okay, and then also for the terms of curriculum, we are actually under the general education courses, no? Wherein all the courses under in a university has a lot of different subjects under the general education. So that's the result is agreeable. And then for the conclusions, so the study revealed that most student response are within the typical college age range and demonstrative diverse yet balanced gender representation. And also the use of the mobile phones and the mobile data are very primary tools in using online learning aside from using Wi-Fi connections. And then also the platforms that we usually use were MS Teams and the LMS, okay, which is a beneficial and a value traditional face-to-face learning for deeper engagement and understanding of general education subjects. So the overall, students have shown commendable adaptability to the online learning environment, also expressing a clear need for more interpersonal interaction and stable technological support. Then we have here 5 recommendations. One is to improve technological support, especially educational institutions should consider providing support for the students, like the internet, giving them internet um, access, or what you call it, internet for them, what you call it, internet mobile phones that can be used by the students or given the students some Wi-Fi models, no, or modems to be used in their
Sir,
home,
this
no.
is a gentle reminder that 9 minutes have been completed.
Okay, thank you, sir. And then we have also the enhanced hybrid learning opportunities, then the strengthened platform training, promote engagement and motivation, and lastly is continue monitoring student feedback. So with that, thank you for accepting our paper for this kind of conference.
Thank you for your presentation, sir. Do we have any
Yes, sir.
question?
Yes, sir. Any question?
Fine, Datu. Excellent.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Since there are no questions, we will move forward to the next presenter. Next, I would like to call upon Ma'am Siri to present a paper on the title Addressing Consumer Resistance to Sustainable Marketing, a Policy and Business Framework using ISM and Integrated Theoretical Insights. Do we have you here with us, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am. You can start presenting your screen, ma'am.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Good afternoon, one and all who present here. And my research topic is addressing the resistance to consumer resistance to sustainable marketing, a policy and business framework using an integrated critical insight. And these are the topics which I am going to cover in this presentation. And coming to abstract, the main objective of this research is to investigate the root cause of consumer resistance to sustainable marketing by integrating behavior theory with ISM based on structural analysis. We found that psychological discomfort such as distress caused by greenwashing and institutional gap like weak regulations and behavioral barriers such as price premium significantly affect consumer adoption. Our ISM analysis related that greenwashing and lack of transparency are root level drivers, and addressing them can help increasing the trust and adoption. And coming to the introduction, sustainable consumption is vital for ecological and social level well-being. However, the awareness about the sustainable practices is growing, but adoption remains low. And the restrictions are the resistance of the sustainable practices based on psychological discomfort, which consumer feels misleading with corporate actions and institutional voids, unclear standards and weak regulations, and behavior barriers such as cost and limited access for the sustainable products. To overcome these barriers, companies must communicate transparently, reduce greenwashing, and work with government to enhance affordability and access. And coming to the literature review, these are the 10 variables which we used in our research. And in these 10 variables, greenwashing and transparency defect are the main barriers which we found out in our survey. And coming in perspective of institutional theory, main problems are environmental awareness gap and cultural norms. And then coming to the psychological behavior theory, price premiums are the another barrier and also a limited access for the sustainable products. And then coming to the research methodology, here we've used a mixed method approach like qualitative survey and qualitative expert modeling to understand the linkage between different resistant factors. And we also applied interpretive structural modeling and mix-match analysis to explore the relation among these factors. And these survey data was collected from the 88 respondents across urban, semi-urban, and rural regions in India, ensuring diversity in age, gender, income, and education. And then coming to the result and discussions, here greenwashing and lack of transparency emerged as a key root level drivers. Behavior barriers like high price sensitivity and fewer communications were found to depend on these root causes. This finding is crucial because it suggests that tackling root causes like greenwashing will indirectly address price and perception issues. And then coming to the implementations, social implementations, we must build trust through the transparent and relatable sustainable messaging. Campaigning should be focused on immediate personal benefits like health and cost saving. And in perspective of political implementations, government need to regulate greenwashing strictly and provide subsidies to make sustainable products affordable to the consumers. And in perspective of academia, we have to promote the interdisciplinary research on consumer resistance and behavior changes. And coming to the recommendation of this to address consumer resistance, we must act on the structural and perspective levels. Like managing, like we have to compensate that the organization should have the sustainable certificates of their particular products, and also strengthen the transparency regulations and subside sustainable products and run consumer educational campaigns. And also we have to educate the consumer that how sustainability is help and how in long term it is the most important thing. And also we have to promote culturally relevant and low barrier sustainable practices. And these are the references which we use it in our research. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation, ma'am. Do we have any questions? Since there are no questions, we'll moving forward with the next presenter. Next, I would like to call upon Ma'am Sonali to present a paper analyzing enablers of omnichannel retailing success using ISM and MIC-MAC, a research-driven approach. Do we have you here with us, ma'am?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Audible. Okay. I'm sharing this.
Sure, ma'am.
Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good evening, all. I'm Sonali. I'm presenting here like analyzing enablers of omnichannel retailing using ISM and MIC-MAC research-driven approach. I'm from Amravati, and my co-author is Dr. Payal Das, and my collaborative team member is Aishwarya. And here is the outline of today's presentation. As we begin with the introduction, followed by literature review and proposed methodology. And we'll be end up with the future research recommendation and key takeaways. Coming into the abstraction, the main research focus or the objective of our research is to uncover the key enablers that determine omnichannel success. I have two modeling techniques. We use two modeling techniques like ISM and MIC and MAC analysis, like interactive structural modeling, and then IAM, technological acceptance model, which frames theoretical foundation. And we've mainly focused on how AI is impacting on personalized engagement and seamless integration on offline and online channels and trust towards the data security of the consumers. And coming into the index article of Scopus 288, we had primarily between online and offline systems, lack of consistent training support for employees. The primary objective is to understand how key factors such as technological infrastructure, personalization, and privacy control are effectively controlling our omnichannel ecosystem. Coming into the introduction, omnichannel retailing is a new stand for customer engagement. It focuses on providing seamless consumer experience across the digital and physical platforms. where we can see inventory, inconsistency, customer services, data continuity, and our work focuses on identify the exact enablers needed to overcome this issue, build a sustainable omni-channel ecosystem. So coming into the literature review, like we have investigated a range of academic and business sources, and that are identified into 10 main enablers of omni-channel success. So these are the 10 enablers that we mainly focused in our research. And then coming into the role and what they function, as I have mentioned, these are the important 10 enablers. Mainly like seamless integration through digital and physical channels, and then brand consistency by identifying the retail and concern, how we build the trust through data protection. These are the ways paper related and the roles they did in the most 10 enablers. Coming into the methodology, we conducted a structured survey of 108 consumers using a Google form. We covered the age between 18 to 55 years, and we used an interactive structural modeling as I classified before. And then this approach has helped us to develop a strategy framework for the business and as well as to collect the resources effectively. And coming into the result and discussion, this ISM model has helped us to build a structure and tech infrastructure as secure data privacies and practices. These are the 10 enablers. We have a layer focused on customer experience, like mobile optimization and real-time communication as well. So by this MIC and MAC analysis related to the employee training and most dependent factor, meaning it is affected by everything else, but by continuously supported each other. So coming into the implications, coming into the comparative analysis, we have compared within this things like seamless integration and real-time communication, personalization, how people are interested through AI driven, and the system adaptation, how they are trusting towards the digital platforms, and then tool adoption of the consumers, how the digitalization coming on the way. These are our basic comparative enablers, how we find out our insights. And coming into the implementations, we recommend 5 strategies like inventing 5G cloud infrastructure, implementing strict AI data privacy regulations, and then financial incentives that promote too much of digital platforms, and launch any nationwide retail workforce training. And then concepts like business education, omni-channel business education, which collaborations like circular academic educational purpose. So this plays that implications of what we did. And coming into the conclusion of the future work, our seven key recommendations are data privacy concern and personalized experience using AI and through the digitalization, integration and channel seamlessly, mobile privacy, and then investing in infrastructure throughout and real-time support. These are the future research we suggest, and exploring omni-channel B2B rural markets. So in this way, I conclude it. And these are my referrals where I dealing with the personalization cross-channel shopping behavior through the applications of ISM and MAC applications. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation, ma'am. Do you have any questions?
Excellent as those.
Sorry, sir. Since there are no questions, we'll be moving forward to the next presenter. I would like to call upon Ma'am
Thank you, sir.
Pallavi. I would like to call upon Ma'am Pallavi to present her paper on the title E-Voting System Using Blockchain App. Do we have you here with us, ma'am? Do we have anyone else from the team with us? Since there's no response, we'll be moving forward with the session. I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentation and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. We, on behalf of the whole team, thank you for your support during this 10th version and all the previous 9 versions of the conference. We'll be happy to have you in the 11th version in 2026. All the presenters will be getting their digital certificate within 2 working days. Further, all the viewers have already been forwarded to the Springer. The publication will be live within 7 to 8 months. Kindly cooperate with the team of ICT4SD 2025. I also thank our session chair, Dr. Lokendra Singh Umrao, for chairing this session. I would now like to invite Sir and request him to share his thoughts and feedback about the presentation of the session. So we'll be happy to hear a few words if you are available.
Thank you giving me the opportunity as a session chairs. The paper was too good and the presentation style of the conference is too excellent. Previously, I have attended these two conferences. All these sessions organized very well. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Here's a token of appreciation on behalf of Team ICT4SD 2025 to our chair and Global Knowledge Research Foundation and partners. Thank you everyone for your valuable presence. Just before we end the session, I request you all to kindly switch on your camera for a quick snapshot of the virtual conference. Thank you everyone. Stay safe. Take care.